Hello, class. This is Ijaz Adams, your technology instructor. Today, we will be learning about the cover letter, which plays a vital role in order for you to apply jobs online or offsite. Uh, Cover letter basically talks about your resume and your personality. It summarizes you as a whole person, your abilities, and why you are important for that particular job. Let's talk about uh, what is the ideal cover letter. I'm pretty comfortable that you have a perfect resume. I'm sure you make a good impression, but let me tell you that if you don't write a perfect cover letter, which is crucially important for the recruiters, job hunters, or employers, they might not open your resume because what happened initially when they look at your resume, when they open your profile, the resume that you send, if you attach or if you write a cover letter basically summarizes your resume, which means if the cover letter is not perfectly written, you have less chances to go for the interview. So in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to write a great cover letter that will engage the employer and helps you land a job. So let's get started. I have the example here, a typical example of a cover letter that divides into four sections. On the top left, this is the information about you, your name, your address, or and your telephone number, and your email address. Um, my recommendation: compare the format of the address. We normally here write only city, state, and the zip code. If this is what you wrote on your resume, and this is what we recommend, you need to write the same format over here. Okay, you don't have to write down the postal address of your home where you live. There is just no need. When you will be selected for the job, of course, they will ask you more than just your address. Okay, and then afterwards you need to write the date and then the person you addressing to. Okay, so why you are writing this? Basically, you are writing to express your interest. Okay, in the open position that you're applying for, right? So it's a kind of a personalized greeting that you are just typing. Let me see. I think I further explain in the next slide. Yeah. So a perfect cover letter is made up of the four following parts: a personalized greeting. So, dear hiring manager, right? You can write down the name, right? That is totally fine. But if if you're addressing to, let's say, for example, Miss Deborah, and you don't know her marital status, it's better to just write Miss Deborah because that is more respectful, right? And then you're not annoying anyone, okay? Just an example. Or simply just write down hiring manager if you don't know the name, right? So a strong opening is important, right? Your cover letter should contain self-introduction, write about who you are, where your expertise lies, where you found the job posting, and why you want to apply for that particular job, right? Uh, Persuasive body content, the second paragraph of the cover letter, basically respond, basically respond directly to the job description written by the hiring manager. So describe how your previous job experiences, skills, abilities will help you meet the company's needs. To make that easier, you should include exact words, phrases from the job descriptions in your cover letter. You may include bulleted list of your skills, right, and your previous experiences matches with the position that you're applying for. Make sure to use numbers or percentages to emphasize your bullet points if you are using bullet points, right? For example, I was able to increase online revenue by 13%. So it should have some numbers in terms of percentages, right? Do some research about the company and find out what their current activities and goals. Explain how you can help them to basically achieve those goals. And yes, at the end, a compelling call to action. I would say cover letter closing is basically a call to action portion of your cover letter. Inform the hiring manager that you love to go on for this position and you are very much interested to go for to give you to have an opportunity for the interview. Provide your email address or other contact information and tell them that you will reach out in a week if you don't hear back. Thank them for spending time reading your cover letter. You may write sincerely, cordially at the end, and that's how you end up, that's how you basically mention your overall uh, resume's summary, and you talk about your personality and your job experience as well. Let's talk about more in detail about cover letter. Cover letter basically summarizes your personality and resume in few paragraphs, as I've mentioned before. It is the first interaction you will have with the recruiter or employer, as if you know first impression counts on. So it's important to get it right. And furthermore, the cover letter is the chance to get your personality across. And objective to cover letter is to make reader or the hiring manager curious enough to consider you or consider your resume for the interview. And then cover letter acts as an index for your resume. I mean, human resource staff, if you look at them, they're busy people and they are receiving hundreds of applications a day. They won't have time to read great details, and they found they would read for about 40 seconds. If I would be reading, I would spend like 40 to 50 seconds, right? And they will, and then they need to make decision based on the cover letter. Do they need to spend more time opening your resume or not? So, if I'm afraid if the cover letter is not properly written, then your chances will be less to go for the next phase, which is they should be able to read your resume and call you for an interview. So imagine you would type a search into a Google and you kept waiting and waiting for results to slowly appear on the screen. You would probably press the refresh button or switch to another website or open another tab. I mean, in the era of fast open internet, no one wants to waste their time waiting for the search query. So it is just like an index of your resume, right? And if they feel the start is not attractive, they're not finding the contents in the position that they advertise, they might not be able to go to your summary. So the index should be powerful, right? So the index should be powerful. In this case, index is your cover letter. So just think about those hiring manager and whoever is responsible to read your cover letters as much as, let's say, as much as we are used to having fast results on Google or other popular search engines. Oftentimes, internal site search on the page struggles with the offering results as quickly. Without a search index, the search query takes up resources from the server and makes the site slower, right? This is why the search index is a vital part of any good search query. So I try to relate this search index of any website to a person who is responsible to basically basically reading your cover letter. So if from the start the contents are not right, the flow is not okay, the sections that I talked about, those four sections are not properly arranged, that means he or she will not be interested to read your cover letter or consider you for the next step, which is offering you for the interview. Another advice, please do not attach a cover letter. So let's say if you're composing an email, you're sending your resume as an attachment, right? Do not attach cover letter as well. Why? Because it's kind of an attachment within attachment. What you're going to write in the main body of your email, please find attach my cover letter. I mean, that's not, where is the cover letter then? So cover letter should be in the main body of your email, right? Same as if you happen to go to Indeed.com, whenever they ask you to attach to include the cover letter, you have the option. You can write directly to the main body of the message. So in other words, make sure you have a generic cover letter, right? Based on the position that you're looking for, you can customize your cover letter on your Google Doc or on your Microsoft Word text editor. You just need to edit that cover letter and then copy and paste. Do not attach. This is not good, because what's going to happen, separate attachment is sometimes create an obstacle for the reader, and then they say, forget it, I'm not opening it. Okay, so make these things convenient for the reader. If these things will be convenient for them to open, they love to have it, and then there should not be any problem. Okay, and at the last, I would try to show you one example here, which is basically talks about further subdivision of those 4 parts that I talked about in the beginning. We talked about heading, and then we talked about salutation, and then opening paragraph. Let's start with this. And under the heading, I explained it to you. It's about you, right? And then you need to address, dear Catherine, dear hiring manager, and then the opening paragraph, get them hooked and make them read on. As lifelong worker at ABC Company, I was thrilled to see your posting for position of digital marketing manager. I am positive. Now you talks about yourself. I'm positive. I can help with XYZ upcoming challenges. I have experience with leading successful national online campaigns and budgets over 300,000, and what is more. And then second paragraph, why you are the perfect fit for that company. Now you got to prove that, right? Then you talks about the bulleted points that I explained it to you, explain in terms of percentages. Like in this example, we see the incoming search engine traffic to all 9 websites comprises 47% of the total organic traffic for key terms and phrases. So what you accomplish, right? This is what you're explaining over here, okay? And make sure what you've accomplished, it should synchronize with the position they advertise. It's not like you going in direction A and the posting is on direction B. No, whatever you've accomplished, maybe you accomplished more than what the position requires, but make sure, talk about those success stories which relates to the position they advertise. That is very important, right? And then third paragraph, why the company is the perfect fit for you. Okay, so in this example, the project is a perfect match for my personal and professional interests, and an exciting opportunity. So, of course, it relates to your resume as well, right? Sometimes, in our case, the resume is one-page resume. You have more opportunity when you are sitting face-to-face to the interviewer and you talk more. If they ask you to explain more, you explain them more, right? Here, you don't have a chance to basically explain them in one-page resume, right? So now, after cover letter, if your cover letter is perfectly fine, now you are selected to go for the interview, then you can talk more. But make sure you should be on the same channel. You should not be off the channel, and you should be formal with them, okay? You should not be like talking to them like buddies. No, that sometimes not okay, all right? If they talk about how is the weather, do you think commuting here is a problem, be positive. Don't complain. Don't say, oh, because of trains, it was a mess. No, this is not the ideal example. Be positive. You are going for the interview. That means you decided that you will be there. You decided the place is convenient for you to commute, so don't complain. Things happen. Sometimes, we have issues with the public transport, and sometimes for months we are okay in New York City. So do not complain. be positive, right? At the end, closing paragraph, I would welcome, in this example, I would welcome the chance to discuss your digital marketing objectives and show you how my success with ABC can translate into digital and online marketing growth for XYZ company. And at the end, formal closing, kind regards, sincerely, cordially, right? And that's how you end your cover letter. So make sure at Hope, what's going to happen, you're going to draft your cover letter, right? And this cover letter will be read by us as an instructor, right? And we will be sitting with you. We will be discussing with you as in the resume clinic, and we guide you through the process of creating a successful cover letter, and then afterwards there will be a cross reference. Other faculty members, other staff members going to read your cover letter, and they will be sitting with you one to one and discuss how this cover letter basically give a snapshot of your resume. Okay, so now you understand. The cover letter is kind of a snapshot of your resume plus your personality. The cover letter summarizes your resume and you as a person. The cover letter is basically the index, all right? It's a quick index of your resume. It basically reflects your personality and what you've accomplished in your previous jobs, right? I hope this lesson is very helpful for you, and then definitely we learn more when we have a live class. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.